Round 7 of the Metro Cup season underway tonight. We've got Women's Premier action coming up next. Country Club Colts taking on the UQ Rebels. That'll be followed by Gold Coast taking on Redlands Muddy. Scott McAllister and a very special guest in the box tonight, my man. Tristan Mana, how are you, T?
Oh, Scotty, it was awesome driving the M1 to come up here for Metro Cup tonight, mate. Really looking forward to seeing some good touch footy. It's been nice to tune in on YouTube and from wherever we have been in the world. I was lucky to be in the States a few weeks ago, still watching Metro Cup on YouTube,
you were.
baby.
Of course, it'd be like 2 or 3 in the morning and you're watching it live, not on replay, of course.
It was awesome.
Let's take a look at the ladder in the Women's Premier Division. Round 7 starting to get towards the pointy end of the season. UQ Rebels sitting on top now. Big match for them last week. They beat Redlands, who are currently in second position to get back to the top of the table. Just the one try in that one. Colts sitting in 4th at the moment. Just the one win. That came against Gold Coast in round 4. Strong lineup for tonight for the Colts. We'll see that in the team list coming up now. Talk us through this team list. You were pretty happy when you saw the team list. It looks like one of their strongest ones for the season so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we know, coached by Craig Morrow, he's always got a trick or two, especially when he knows the opposition so intimately. But really nice to see, you know, Kiralee Costello in there. We got Gracie Isle in there, and man, run some really nice lines. Malia Larkin, Tash Adams will lead the way. You know, Chloe Sawtell's played a lot of touch footy, so I think it's nice to see probably one of their stronger teams of the season coming out, mate.
Izzy Buchanan on debut for the Women's Premier lineup tonight as well. We'll take a look at the UQ Rebels lineup as well. Pretty consistent now. Their wins that they've had, though, apart from their last win against Colts earlier in the season, not too much in it. Just the one try has been the biggest winning margin. They've had 2 draws along the way as well, but they're still getting the victories on the board and they sit at the top of the table as a result.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'd agree. And just been down in the coaches' box talking to the coaches, they've been really happy with the warm-up and the preparation this week. So they're like, the girls are looking really good, happy with where they're at. There's nice energy out there. Even you can hear on the coin toss celebrating the small things at the moment, mate. So I reckon we're going to have a really nice game of touch on our hands tonight, mate.
Key player matchup for tonight, Natasha Adams and Rebecca Maimai. Now Rebecca Bartlett recently married just a couple of weeks ago. A couple of real workhorses for both these two teams tonight.
Absolutely, mate. And they both can be the difference. You know, they both provide all the small things, do the tough work. You see them try to win those small contests in the ruck, feed in the way, lots of defensive pressure, always leading the line, mate. So, yeah, 2 really good players to watch out for in this game, mate.
Our other Women's Premier match tonight will take place after this time slot as Redlands taking on the Gold Coast. Redlands will be looking to hit back. Gold Coast have been good this year. I'm sure you've been checking them out throughout. They've been thereabouts. Nice young up-and-coming team as well, but they've been really competitive. Couple of draws, I think, along the way and some losses by only the 1 or 2 tries.
You're absolutely right, mate. Caught up with a couple of the Gold Coast girls before, and that's exactly the tune that they were singing. Like, we're in every game, it's been one try in it pretty much, and we're coming up against Redlands, who has really been setting the standard. So I think that's going to be a really enjoyable game that we're not going to get to see, unfortunately.
And sets up a nice fixture tonight, these two teams. We've only seen the Country Club Colts on broadcast earlier on in the season in round 1, so they've just been a little bit off to the side. Like we said, they're hovering thereabouts, 4th position. This is the time where you need to look to start to pull the trigger. Another round next week in round 8, and then we've got a 2-week break with the National Youth Championships, Queensland All Schools coming up. So you want to chalk up just those couple of victories before you have that last mad dash into the finals. UQ Rebels tap, of course, defending champions, 4-time champions, looking to go 5 straight at the Metro Cup this year. Marama Thomas working with Tiani Bryce. What a combination in the midfield for the UQ Rebels. Here goes Bryce, looks right, left, comes back through the middle and still somehow finds a hole. Unbelievable, the Rebels score from the tap-off.
Mate, the amount of time that these two players have spent together, it's got to be over a decade, from juniors right through to seniors and women's touch now. And just watch this, it's looking for short side shoulder space, there it is, got the drop and we're in. And touch can be that simple, you know. Sometimes, like, we think it's got to be played fast and explosive, Scotty. That was nice and slow with purpose.
And our first touch of the footy for the Colts. Here's Grace, rolls it forward, and Tasha Adams comes back towards her, and they might have picked up a little forward pass from the rucks, signalled by Zach Jenrick on field, supported by Clado Lawrence and John Hamstra tonight, our 3 officials.
Yeah, mate, it's a really nice play off the tap, that little wee 2-step. I reckon that'll feature a little bit later once the UQ Rebels start to fatigue. You'll see Colts pull that one back out.
Good meters, but they have to hold the footy up there with Murphy, just waiting for those changes to come on now. Loose ball back to Donovan off the hands. So that was clunky, and that all flowed from when they were trying to make those changes around the box.
Hey, Beck just dummied her way across the field and I wanted to touch her. So those little things, just ball in hand, It's pretty cool to see.
Now some changes here for the Colts. Just burning a couple while they get their replacements on. looking for some flow coming in towards the back end. Sawtell will play it on the 7-metre line. Ball looked flat coming out of their hands. And John Hamstra has picked up the penalty, and it may be for that forward pass and signal.
Yeah, that's really unlucky, mate. I reckon that was a nice play. Player would have been called offside if they can get that pass right. So 2 really, good attacking opportunities, and both forward passes from half. The halves have got to work a little bit harder now.
So the Rebels going direct on the first 2. Now they bring it towards the box. Donovan will get them over the halfway line. Murphy sends it back infield.
Oh, they've got it, the flood. Doi.
Just looking for that little bat-on over the back end of the set.
And here we go. It's been a nice chance for them to set their transition defence. This is the tough stuff. Let's see UQ. They always love to push 4-2-4. So we'll see their shoot defence take place, and let's see what Colts are going to take 2 straight. There's probably very similar patterns at the moment, mate, that we're seeing from both teams.
We've got a rich history of these 2 teams as well. It's been Rebels and Storm over the last 3 years down the pointy end, but before that it was Rebels and Colts coming up against each other every year.
Metro Cup, State Cup, Metro Cup, State Cup. It was awesome. Yeah.
And the Colts had a pretty good run as well. I remember them knocking the Rebels off at a State Cup. That was a huge win a couple of years ago. It's been a few years between drinks since Metro Cup. Glory for them, but a very strong club with a lot of history. As Tiani again looks to go across, but Tasha Adams straight back up to the feet. She made the touch. Don't worry about that.
That was the marker, wasn't it? Just popped up, man, like popping up on a surfboard. She was straight there. Got you.
Now Bryce again. And a nice touch to close out the set as Edis comes up to make the touch. Adams goes forward on the first.
Yeah, it's a way cleaner subset. 2 to the middle. That's 3 as they cross halfway. That's a really good set, Scotty.
Now they want to fly off the back of it. As Adams plays it over the 10-metre line of the Rebels. So will just push to get herself into half. Shows right, comes back left. Good set though, completion, finish it down on the 7, in the middle of the field as well.
I really like the way at the end of that last set you saw the UQ Rebels flatten their line, which takes them from shoot defence into then having their defensive control with their shape. It's really nice. Watch for that as the game goes, and then they pop a point for their 5th touch. It's just such a nice way to play with their transition D.
A little variation from the Rebels to start this set, got them really good flow going downfield, and they're going to get a repeat off the back of it. Larkin popping up out of the line.
I think Beck and Marama will look to get together for this one. Here it is, punish.
Thomas heads down that short side. Colts jerseys get across.
It's so enjoyable to watch Beck off the ball, mate. You see all the work she puts in organising her team. Oh, space. Look at that.
Lucia slices through. Again, big hole to work with. Probably a little bit concerning the ease in which the Rebels have scored their first 2 tries. Just opening up in the middle for them at the moment.
Yeah, both Saver and Touch are cornered, unfortunately. We just saw White. Unfortunately, yeah, Saver was meant to be in tucked in tight, but went the other way.
So the Rebels jump out to a 2-0 lead. 5 minutes into the first half. Now Colts looking for offside players. Lily Finger comes back out to play it on the 7-metre line. And here she is again. Goes across field, shows it. They come back to Finger. And contact made there simultaneously from Bartlett.
Really good defence, mate. Nice to see out on this near wing here, Oshie Graham. She's playing, I think, her 3rd game, mate, since debuting. But once again, wing's not her natural spot. So, there's these little spots that may open up as the game starts to fatigue that these Colts players can take advantage of. But, yeah, Rebels are always so tight. There's always lots of space out there.
And great kick out of the box there from Donovan. Again, those fast feet, they're moving at the moment. Teakle picks up, takes it right to the line. And throws it into the breadbasket there of the Colts. Touch and pass will be the call from Generic.
It seems that Colts are even more comfortable rolling defence through the field rather than when it gets the static line with time, eh? They're quite happy to get into those little battles.
Now, Country Club down their sideline. Zell comes back in field. There she goes again, this time getting it down cleanly. Little show and go from Tunks. Rebels had a little bit of space to work with. They finish it on the 7 again. They're getting themselves downfield at the moment, which is positive, but they need to back it up now in defence and try to get a little bit of territory back off the Rebels.
Yeah, it's that 5th touch play, eh? We've got to attack the player, take the person on. We're trying to use plays at the moment to get those outcomes. Someone's going to have to tuck the ball and take someone on.
Now Thomas to Bryce. Off the fingertips. Going to start their set here around about the 10-metre line. This will help them to get downfield and hopefully get a little bit of polish off the back end and have an attacking opportunity. Still got work to do, though. We see teams when they start around this midfield halfway, and particularly if they go into their box like we've just seen there, they still just go straight across and no one punching forward. And little mistakes, they come up like that.
It's really funny, mate. We realised with our State of Origin 20 men's team, if they got an early touch, then they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they actually, we've got an extra touch. What do we do? So they just stand in the middle of the field, take a touch. Just so they could get their whole pattern back. It was like, what's happening? Yeah, so interesting.
So off that mistake now, the Rebels back on the attack. Thomas out to Ashurst. Tiani had to sweep a long way, but they came back to Ashurst, and Clarkson just trying to hoik it over the top. It was a tough one to take. Outside defence coming in to make the touch.
Mate, twice in a row. You had Carla Sankey the last wing touch and the 5th touch, and just then Carolee Costello shoots in nice and early. So the wing is making a massive difference at the moment for Colts.
They're working hard for metres now. They get over the halfway line. 1 to go. Myself from half has a look. Nice little late switch in at the line. And they finish it off. Smack on that 7-metre line yet again.
Yeah, great reload for the shoot defence, though. There they go. And there it is. That's the kind of pressure you've got to put on the Rebels. Oh, nice. Demi Ashurst, eh?
Yeah, nice little late release. Graham was there to pull it in. Here's Lucia. Comes back to Danita Smith. Picks up. Short ball. And a nice line run there from Smith. Good defence as well from Finger coming across. A nice little back and forth battle over the last couple of sets between the two teams. Early couple of tries from the Rebels, but it's tightened up now for the Colts. They're into the grind. They're into the game.
It's nice when you see two teams find their rhythm, eh? Here we go.
Now coming into the last. Adams picks up. Nice release. Larkin comfortably touched in the end from Lucia. Now the Rebels bring it back into the middle. Smith had to reach for it. Links back up with Donovan. Now Blade comes to Ashurst. Now Tiani on the last. Nice
Tiani.
ball out to Caitlin Blade, who lets it go behind her.
It just shows it, you know, if you know where to put the ball, like it doesn't have to be the best pass in the world. It was just such a nice pass, nicely weighted. Don't think Caitlin expected that one.
Because they look quite compressed out here on this right-hand side, but as soon as you can, again, let the ball get on the outside, and again, nice lines. These wingers, they run beautiful lines from inside out. Space to work with.
There we go.
That's better down the sideline from the Colts. And they're up and about, and they can sense this might be the set for them. They pick up from half there on the last touch, though. Turn it over. Now early shift here on the first touch out to Caitlin Blade. Probably the big difference between the two teams at the moment is around touch 1 and 2.
You're exactly right, Scotty. So Rebels have identified the pattern that Colts are using for their shoot defence, and they're starting to manipulate that now.
Now Thomas decides to rip a beautiful ball. Lucia was just holding back a little bit in the link position out there on the left. That reduced the options that Marama had coming into that fourth touch.
And same thing as Tiani. You don't see any hip or body. It's just they flip the wrists and off the ball goes. You know, imagine if they put a bit of power into it. Man, it'd fly.
Now the Colts with another error coming out of their end of the field. Rebels just take their time here to get set. Clarkson gets him forward on the first. Now Beck Bartlett out there from half. Short side, Lucia. Left foot comes back to Bartlett. with open pastures in front of her. And they're high-fiving the Rebels.
Yeah, really nice footwork, mate. It was all lateral defenders, so unfortunately we need someone to push up into that passing lane. Bang, one comes here, two. If we push up into the player, then we can get the ball and player there, bang, and you cover the pass as well. But hips are turned in, everything's in, just makes it really hard to recover. Great attack, eh? Lucia, man, she can bounce when she wants to.
Oh, yeah. It's deceptive as well. A lot of players, and particularly this ones that play against her week in, week out, will know what she's like. But when she just drags you into that almost half little lull, and then all of a sudden it's just bang. She can turn the speed on. Unbelievable. Ball in one hand. What a player.
Yeah, I'm with Coach Renee. You could hear it. Then you saw Pia drop in defensively then as soon as she saw Tash loading up on the punish, on the quickie, on the link. Great defence.
And we come back away again. It's ball movement causing dramas for the Colts. Clarkson takes a little juggle. Rare mistake there from UQ.
Yeah, I was about to say how good the hands were. There are a couple of bullets being thrown in there. Hey.
Perfect conditions again tonight. It's nice and warm, actually. It's starting to heat up here in southeast Queensland. Still sitting about 20 degrees at the moment.
It's
Colts making some changes.
It's the game temperature, mate. It's heating up out there, baby.
Yeah, it's hot.
Hey.
Now the Colts are with their best opportunity in quite a number of sets. Last touch this time. They'll look to come out. And he is in court in possession there on the last.
Great defence, eh? Sinead, her positioning as a wing is awesome. And same again, that's that spot they've found. They can see, pressure. Yep, so they identified that the winger on this side was pushing up on touch one, so they're trying to move the ball a wee bit, but that's what happens. Great pressure.
Yeah, risk and reward. Now they've got a full set to work with, looking for their first try of the game. Back in field. As White will now play it.
Great line speed.
Sawtell comes back in and look to sweep around. Sawtell, there's Rebels jerseys everywhere.
Awesome. I really like that there. So when you see Evie push across, normally a lot of teams will double that defender off, but she actually just covers that extra few metres and then pulls a really big corner. And it's nice and clean. You can see the defensive shape.
Poulis, short side, looks to come back inside White. And Ashurst is there to make the touch. And they're comfortable in defence on their line at the moment, the Rebels.
Here's a big set from the Colts on D, though. They loaded up early.
So it's this familiar play, isn't it? They bring it into the middle, quick little shift back out. Gets them on the front foot coming down their sideline. A little bit clunky with the play the ball. They get away. Now Smith gets it down cleanly for Lucia, who sends it across. Nice catch and release back on the inside to Donovan. Ball hits the deck. Might have been contact before that pass was thrown. The Colts will restart here.
Yeah, I'll take that. Take that on defence, eh, mate?
Poulis ball rolling around and has been picked up.
That's those contests that Beck likes to get into, you know. She contested the ruck, then put her body into that space, and yeah, got her team a turnover. Nice work.
If there's a player that you don't want to see in front of you on those early couple of touches, it has to be Beck Bartlett.
Or her sister Kayla.
True.
I don't want to be around Kayla.
Anyone.
I want to be around Kayla.
Gemma, on the other hand, is one of the nicest getting around. She's so polite. I think she'd just comfortably just give you a nice little soft touch as we see the Rebels go over for their fourth. And they're really in their groove tonight.
And what I like is, you know, Beck forces the turnover. The team work really hard and she reaps the rewards from it. So they're those little things. That's that championship moment, you know.
Just attacking the line. The previous tries have been where they've been manipulating that middle defence and it's been opening up, and that one's just ball in hand, gas to the line, down low. She scores their fourth as they're marching towards the halftime break with a nice margin now. Colts need a response. They need a little something to take them into the halftime break. Larkin comes back to White. They turn the ball over.
Yeah, just really nice controlled defence. And by the rules, but here we go. They're into it again. Oh, and they're going to go away. They must know they're inside 5 minutes.
First time we've seen them go away. Is it towards the back end? You just say they knew that they were within that 5-minute zone. Do you start to see teams doing it towards the back end, or is there a specific tactic around it?
For me, there's individual players. Sammy doesn't mind going straight. Big Momo loves going straight, but there are team tactics at the back end under fatigue where they can score a try right then, knowing that they're coming into a halftime break. You know, so absolutely, the tempos that I like to run as a coach as well.
So the final pass just going forward. On that occasion, they were almost over for their 5th. Colts working hard down their sideline. Again, it's just that it's not over physical in the ruck, but it's just enough to slow the Colts down at the moment. They're getting bodies in front here, the Rebels. Now Grace does to take them on herself. Picks up some good meters though with the ball.
Yeah, I like it when Grace runs. You know what I mean? She's got the pass, she can hit both sides, she looks around, so the team just seemed to be, you know, the defence looks a bit more vulnerable when she's got the ball in hand.
And a real leader for this team now. He's been part of the Women's Premier lineup for Colts for a long time. She's the captain again this year, which is great to see. Really leading from the front.
Energy. Oh.
They had some numbers to work with.
Yeah, great defence.
So just under a minute and a half to go now before the break. Country Club now shift. Sankey having to get across into half. She follows again into the last. And another good defensive set there from the Rebels. This time they'll start around their 10-metre line. So 60 seconds to go. What do we see here in the last set?
It's this line here when the 2 come through. That's when they find the extra pass at the moment. Yeah, so 4 in the first line, 2 come through on the second, and they manipulate those numbers.
Marama throwing the big dummy on the previous play. They still had touches to work with. They get some replacements on now as Britt just picks up and goes. Gets away from Izell, looking, pumping, finding someone to link up with. And they score their 5th try right before half-time. Good speed there from Donovan. Look at it go, picking up from half.
Oh, it's awesome, mate. And it was reward for a great turnover near halfway. So they worked really hard on their defence, got a turnover, good field position, and here goes Britt. So close.
It was quite close in the end. Nice diving effort. It's good work from Danita as well, where there's bodies in close and then just that late little kick away into space. And the Rebels score their 5th try before the halftime break. It's a handy margin going in. They're looking good tonight.
Yeah, mate, I've enjoyed this first half here. Saw the Rebels pivot a couple of times, and I believe that, so Combat and the Colts, they'll have a plan now half-time. I wish I was over there listening to them in the sub-box, mate.
Yep, it's a big effort needed here in the second half. Half-time score here, UQ Rebels 5, Country Club 0.
We're the Brisbane Metropolitan Touch Association, a touch football competition at Brisbane's best location. We're Australia's largest touch football operation, and everyone can play, no discrimination. A legacy dating back to 1973. Who could have guessed what this club could be? Intro through to rep programs, 800 teams a year, major events, and those who just come for a beer. We're players, we're coaches, we're administrators, we're volunteers, we're referees, we're coordinators. We range from 4 to 75 years of age, and we play together on the same stage. BMTA Mustangs, we're one herd, the home of touch football. Haven't you heard? White Sill Reserve in the heart of Camp Hill, from the heat of summer through the winter chill. Beginner to advanced, we are a community. You can play too. This is your opportunity. It's the fun, the fitness, the culture, the friends. 6 nights a week, touch never ends. It's the run, the step, the pass, the try. And it all stems from our why. People, place, performance is what we're about. BMTA is touch football, day in and day out.
So we're at the halftime break here, this round 7 fixture between the UQ Rebels and the Country Club Colts. Now, we just held a little bit there at halftime. Usually we come back in, but that's because my man here, T. Mana, was hanging off the side of this scaffold, sticking his ears into the halftime talk there. Talk us through. You heard some key messages there, and you were loving it. You got the Australian Women's Open coach with the Queensland Women's Open coach next door. Talk us through it.
What I really like is, and like, it's hard when you see a live game, not everyone can see the game at the speed, you know what I mean? So they take it back and they watch replays to pick up the stuff that Renee's talking about. But she's identified, so both teams are taking touch 1 and touch 2 direct, but she said that her middles are biting. So their sub-box middle is biting on touch 2, which means that when they shift the ball towards a sub-box for touch 3, that middle now has to scramble all the way across to help out. So Rebels going to make a wee adjustment there, which will save their middle a little bit. She goes, it's okay for them to pick up a couple of extra metres for you to keep your defensive shape as a team, and then you can be prepared to help on the next touch. Sometimes we get too over-eager, too keen, think we've got to do a job now, and that's how what we say, you bend them to break them later. So it's a really nice identifier that, yeah, like, we all work hard as coaches at trying to see that stuff in a game, and at this point at these games, the Prems games, it's about identifying something and then the pivot to try and find that pattern.
On the other side of the field, Combat, you made mention, very experienced coach as well. He's a former Queensland Women's Open coach as well, been in Australian systems too. That we mention of the starts of the sets from UQ, and they've had different little variations. It's hard to counteract that when you're getting different options thrown at you, but what are the key things coming out of that halftime break you reckon Combat's having a chat about?
Combat fixes things so that they're consistent. So once things are consistent, then the team can work on their speed, or you can change small little things. So I reckon he would have been asking for a bit of consistency in their shape. Let's fix up the small holes that, at the moment when they're trying to go through us, because they haven't been able to go around us properly. They drop one trying to go over the top. So if we can fix up the stuff that's happening on the goal line where it goes static, we can fix up touch 1 and 2. But I reckon it'll just be consistency. I want to see the same thing again and again and again. And when I see that, then we can start to work on what happens next.
So they've got the tap to restart the second half. They'll be looking to start strong here, the Colts. A little bit of shape coming in towards the back end. As Costello plays it. Izell, lovely ball. It's Sankey just holding back. Tristan's getting very animated up here in the box.
Jumping in front of the camera.
Yeah. Did you like what you see on that play?
I mean, they probably talked about it at half-time and said, we do this, we do that, they collapse, you go over the top because your pass can. So it shows that it's all there. That's what I love about a half-time chat.
And they don't want to go in their shell from here. Just because that one didn't come off for them on that occasion, Colts just keep that energy going here in the second half. Strong start again, though, from the Rebels as Tiani snatches at it, comes out towards Ashurst, who feeds it back in field now to Evie Clarkson coming into the last. Marmot has a look at it now. Right, rips, and they're well numbered. And touch comes up and closes out the set there on Caitlin Blade. Nice work there from Sankey. Defending out on the right wing. As Larkin punches through the middle on the second. Adams now sings across. Costello, nice ball with a bit of space to work with. Well, that's Costello, apologies, out there on that left-hand side of the field. Now gets herself into half. And coming into the last now. Early release, ball hits the deck. Over the top.
Mate, that was nice flow end to end, both teams. No one pulled up. The attack was nice and clean both ways. Looking forward to seeing that continue for a little while. There we go, great pressure. That's why we shoot on defence.
And Sawtell just coming up out of the line. She's pretty much the only one that did, just to come up and put that pressure on, force the mistake. Good start here to the second half. Short side, nice work off the left foot. Lily Finger throwing some questions early in the set.
Interesting, mate. It was the same process we saw from UQ twice. On the first touch, they go for that link quickie, and when they get the 6-touch repeat set. So I wonder if that's part of their plan as well.
Now Paulus plays it shy. That's 7. This time, Mara Thomas. She was up nice and early.
Yeah, she saw that all the way home.
Almost had to get herself out of the way. She was up there before the ball had come across. Now Tiani throws the dummy. They read that one. They're doing it again. But Caitlin Blade just kicking away from the Colts defenders, picking up an extra couple of metres. Butler through the middle, releases Lucia, gets on the outside. Wow. Danita Smith finds Caitlin Blade. They'll come back. Just held it a fraction too late. Beautiful footy, great lead-up work.
Mate, lovely play. Caitlin just bent the defence, swung around the wing on that little wee let's play around halfway. Oh, we've found...
What is going on out there at the moment?
There you go.
They gave it a try. Mustn't have been no touch made. Well, let's take a look at the replay here. So Lucia to Smith. Yeah, it looked like the ball was gone.
Oh yeah, players saying I didn't touch. Here you go. I didn't make it. It wasn't me. That's what our game's built on, man.
Great honesty.
That's what it's built on.
So the Rebels score first here in the second half. Their 6th try of the game.
They're unlucky, those little forward passes when you're just tunnelling. There's no real benefit to you for that. It's just a bit of a bummer on the turnover, especially off a tap-off. Ooh, good contest.
It was Scarlett Ware forcing the mistake. She is playing the ball now. Tunks brings him back in field. Hades plays it. Back to Tunks. Just went behind her. They slow things up. Adams, dangerous on the short side. Comes off the left foot, comes back in. A nice touch from Fildes coming across in support. Last touch of the set here for the Colts. Adams jinking. And goes over the top of the head of Scarlett Ware.
Yeah, it's nice composure, mate. I mean, you got 3 Australian Women's Open players out there, so I like the fact that Tash is running plays that dive at feet to make referees have to make decisions about onside and offside players.
Donovan gets it down. Graham will follow from half. Smith again, now jinking, setting it up for Bryce, who had to hold it up. And they come up and make the touch there. Adams, who's pleading for the ball in the penalty. She'll get back underway here, getting going forward there on the first.
It's great energy, mate. Tash has really sort of led for the whole time she's been out there, mate. And again, like another touch in the rucking. She'll make 3 or 4 touches in a set.
Sawtell plays it on the last. And comes back towards Chloe. Ashes were played here for the Rebels. Teakle on the second, getting good metres. Now they'll look to release down the left, but a little mistake there. There's been a few of them throughout the game coming out of their end. It's probably been at least, 3 or 4 now.
But Colts have really good field position, mate, so let's see if Combat can, if the players can pull it back together. I'd love to see Gracie looking to pass again. I think coming this way is her ideal opportunity.
She shapes, comes away, links up with Poulis, who dives in at the line. Bartlett's there to make the touch. Last one, Colts are making 2 changes. You can pretty much give the ball back to them straight away if you're doing that on the last.
Shows there's a bit of early fatigue out there, still 12 and a half minutes to go.
Here's Bartlett again.
Oh.
Just picking up extra metres every time she's got ball in hand. Donovan has to go across field. He's back up with Smith. Last, Donovan, she's similar, picking up from half. We saw her open them up with a half run in the first half. Set up one of their tries. That time they were able to make the contact.
And I've seen the Colts winger on this near side when the Rebels coming towards the box go infield and cross the link a few times to make touches. So just watch out for that. The Rebels might end up finding their winger at some point if the Colts winger's willing to help out that much.
Now Adams picks up. Nice ball. Picks up with Edie's. Another completed set. Lucia releases. Now Donovan. Clarkson flows on. Ashurst, look at this running coming in. Lucia, ooh, takes it right through. And who's there with the hands straight up to the sky?
Yeah, Tash, that's the one. Great effort.
Nice and direct on the first couple of touches here for the Colts. Now they release across. At least gives them that opportunity for those changes to flow in behind the attacking line. Now this is where they still need to keep that running and punch forward. Coming into that 7, they've got all their numbers on the left. Larkin takes a little deflection. Did it come off one of the Colts' hands and go backwards, or did it come off a Rebels player? It looked like it came off one of the Colts and did progress forward, and they call it. Good call from the refs.
Yeah. Unlucky. Hey. Yep. And once again, someone scoops, digs into the line, looks for a pass. They look likely, you know. So it seems to be if they can force a collapse and get Rebels to come off and try to help each other out, then they may find some space.
No one at home here for the Rebels. Donovan having to scramble onto the park. Here's Teakle. And Izell making the touch. Calls for players being offside. They get set back to the mark to play it. And they'll close out. Redlands taking on the Gold Coast in the Men's Premier coming up next. Redlands been good this year. Again, Gold Coast, like the Women's Premier team, they've been competitive in matches, just haven't quite got there. It was a bit of a shock loss for them last week against the Southern Storm. I think they went into the halftime break up by 1, and the Storm put 6 tries on them coming out of the break, and it was all over after that point, so they'll be looking to bounce back tonight, the Coast.
I was going to say, mate, the Storm weren't shocked.
They knew what was going on.
What was happening.
I don't know what they got given by their coach, Chris Ross, at the half-time. Might have brought the Oranges back or a little bit of something else, but gee whiz, they were up and about coming into the second half.
Brought back the old school. Told them all they're walking home, mate.
Oh,
like our dads used to. Hey?
Well, when he's got his actual son in the team too, you know that's an actual threat.
There you go. Hey, nice. Like I said before, I like to see them dive in at the line, mate. Hey, having those plays that put the refs under a bit of pressure. And there you go. Rebels always start their sets nice and deep, eh? Gives them some bit of momentum off the back fence.
Now their changes roll on again. This time a little bit deeper in their own end. And Ashurst has a little look up. Comes out of the hands. So they'll start on halfway here, the Country Club Colts. Scarlett Ware gets them going forward. It's Chloe Tunks. Out to Sankey on the left. Ware takes another one forward. Adams back out onto the park. Larkin. She'll play it and they get themselves a penalty. So not moving forward within that 7 metre zone. UQ.
It's a great opportunity, mate, and they've got their big guns out there too.
Forward pass.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, those ones hurt, don't they, when they were just, it's just from half straight away from the ruck. They weren't really under any sort of defensive pressure from the Rebels.
Absolutely.
At that point in time. And it just gives the Rebels the footy back and a leg up to roll downfield. Now we see Colts players down on the deck. Buchanan, we may mention, on debut tonight, cops a little shot in her first game in Women's Premier. A little bit over-vigorous is the call there. A little bit of leaning in with the shoulder. Got to get the hand out to initiate that touch.
Yeah, it's always interesting, that little piece, like the only thing that we're actually allowed to contact each other with is our hands. So anything else, you get shoulders, chest, heads, knees, who knows? It's, there's a decision that has to be made, whether it's accidental or intentional.
Izell again, back to Adams. I feel like it's going to come from one of those two players tonight. They shifted across. The defence slides across with them from UQ. Murphy will play it. All right, let's see how they go with this set here. Pinned over on their far side, and they bring it to the middle of the field on the first. Foltz follows suit. This time just a clinical way to get out of their end. Pretty short and sharp. Now another penalty here around the halfway line, this time over the mark.
It's not from a lack of effort, is it, mate? Hey.
And it shows the class of them, up by 6. You think that you could just pull it back a smidge and just cruise it on through for the last 6 minutes of this game, but the intent in which they're still continuing to play at the moment, the Rebels. And Donovan comes up and make that touch, forces the touch and pass. Well, they've had the wood over the Colts again this year. They played earlier, what would have been round 3 then. Final score was 6-1 in that game. We're sitting at 6-0 at the moment. And we mentioned before, their other wins that they've had have been really tight against Storm, Redlands as well. Nothing too much more than just the one try. Couple of draws along the way as well, one of which came against the Gold Coast. So we talked about them before and how much of an improved performance has been from them this year. But this is a little bit more of what we've been used to from UQ here in this match again tonight.
Absolutely, mate. And it's not just the players out there on the field, it's the support network that UQ have, I'm looking down in the box and I'm seeing, like, Sammy Jo. We know at the moment, she's pregnant, recently married, or Sammy Jo Love, but, Renee's there, Amy's there, Leisha's there. So great support mechanisms. The composure in the sub-box is awesome.
Oh, yeah. Adams coming across and just flat-footed in support. There, poor old Scarlet Ware. Looking dangerous. And Adams comes up out of the line, makes the first touch. And they'll release it again. And again to Blade. And they've run the same similar patterns coming out of their end of the field, but it just proves that you run them effectively. As we have a look and see the back end of this set, and we got an interchange infringement. Might have been a forward pass from the sideline.
Yeah, mate, I completely agree with you. Like, people think that structure sometimes kills X Factor, but I think structure gives you a platform to then play off.
Yep.
And that's what you see with the Rebels. They have about 5 or 6 different patterns, and they can just engage any of those patterns at any moment, which creates their X Factor.
Changes onto the park here for the Colts. They bring it out to Chloe Tunks. Sell from half, shows it in, right foot, left foot. Yeah, if they just had someone punching in a little bit closer, created some space to work with there.
Yeah, just some of those natural habits, that we have as we start to play Prems a little bit more.
Here's Donovan again. Another Britt Donovan-like performance, as expected. As now another little mistake. Bit of pressure in the midfield there, forcing the pass to come. And it came out of the hands forward. And now Smith was looking to come up and make up for that, getting up nice and early. They get called back, continue to play on. No penalty forthcoming here for the Colts. Brace this time diving in at the line.
Demi. Yeah. Like, you want Grace to get in there, but you can't deny good defence. Yeah.
Now Tunks releases. Yeah, no options. They'll throw it away. And you mentioned, oh, look how deep the Rebels are. You probably can't pick it up on the camera shot there, the start, and they're almost in the car park. And coming off the back fence. Helps to lay that platform coming forward. A little bit clunky around the box in this set, but they're able to progress out again with Bartlett. Now Clarkson comes back to Beck. And no contact made there, and it just falls into the hands of the Colts in the back end of the set.
Yeah, there was a really good defensive set by the Colts. They put up a flat line early, which actually stopped them being able to swing around and hunt out space. So it was, nice on touch 4.
Thomas called offside. Poulis gets it from Adams. And Tash is directing the traffic out there at the moment. Comes off that left foot, comes back to Evie Poulis. It was a diving effort from Armour Thomas. And Blade was having to come in and shut that one down. Still arguing the point there, Mark.
She thought she got the touch and pass. That's what she's alluding to. But yeah, here we go. Big defensive set.
Minute and a half to go. Still scoreless at the moment here, the Colts. As Ware plays it, they've got numbers on the left. Adams, though, comes across. And Ware just sticks the hand out. They're going to get a penalty, though.
Here we go.
A couple of changes will come on as well as we get into the last minute of the game. Larkin's on. Nizell's on as well. Straight into the middle they go. Here's Grace. Feeds it. Short side. Comes back in. Oh, take it. No! Offside is the call.
Golly.
Beck Bartlett threw the hands up. There's nothing worse when you've got an intercept take, no one in front of you, and you hear that whistle just ringing in the background. Back you go. Nice ball from Larkin. Good phase. Early release. Adams juggles. Bartlett makes the touch.
It's really nice attack, mate, eh? The defense is covering it, but it's nice play.
Look, short side again, diving in,
got him.
and they are happy this time. Lilyfinger has been dangerous and had a couple of opportunities throughout the game, this time in the closing stages. She gets them on the board.
There it is, mate, and I love it. They go to that little link quickie. They looked at it for the entire game, and they're rewarded with the last dying moments of the match, mate.
There you go. Last time these two teams played, 6-1 Rebels. Finishes 6-1 here tonight as well. Just a quality performance again from UQ. And gets them a comfortable victory here in round 7. Men's Premier action coming up. You can see the Redlands boys. They're on the field already. They're ready to go. They're getting their warm-ups up. We'll take a quick break here. Redlands, Gold Coast, Men's Premier coming up next.
We're the Brisbane Metropolitan Touch Association, a touch football competition at Brisbane's best location. We're Australia's largest touch football operation, and everyone can play, no discrimination. A legacy dating back to 1973. Who could have guessed what this club could be? Intro through to rep programs, 800 teams a year, major events, and those who just come for a beer. We're players, we're coaches, we're administrators, we're volunteers, we're referees, we're coordinators. We range from 4 to 75 years of age, and we play together on the same stage. BMTA Mustangs, we're one herd, the home of touch football. Haven't you heard? White Hill Reserve in the heart of Camp Hill, from the heat of summer through the winter chill. Beginner to advanced, we are a community. You can play too. This is your opportunity. It's the fun, the fitness, the culture, the friends. 6 nights a week, touch never ends.
As a look does go long and over the top to Foxcroft. This set, Prendergast picks up, goes into the in-goal area. Skinner try to keep up with him.
Men's Premier action coming up very shortly. We take a look at the Gold Coast lineup for tonight. Head coach Troy Skinner as well. Jordan Andrews comes into the lineup. That's a handy pickup tonight as well, coming into this GC lineup.
Yeah, mate, really exciting. Like I said, I know a little bit about these young fellas. Seen a few of them grow up, hang out with their parents, but I've really enjoyed watching them play this season. Some of the things they need to work on, obviously, with the young guys coming through, they all have these different habits. So talking to like Mike Phillips, he's been a winger outside a few of them. Same with T. It's been really hard for them to see these adjustments. Some of them like to lift as a link and channel, some like to shut, some like to hold. And these are those little balance things that we work with these younger players on when they come into the premiers. It's just being consistent with your movements and your patterns. So looking forward to seeing those improvements again tonight.
Yes, and we mentioned earlier on in the women's match, they're sitting in 5th position at the moment, coming off a pretty shell-shocking loss against the Southern Storm last round. They're looking to bounce back tonight. Redlands, as we take a look at their lineup, sitting in 1st position at the moment, 3 wins, 2 draws, and it's been a great start to the season for the defending champs. We've made mention throughout the coverage so far this year. Complete opposite of what we saw from them last year. Slow start, limped their way into the finals, but pretty much since I think about round 9 or 10, they've been undefeated. That includes in this season as well. Just a couple of draws along the way in Metro Cup season 2025. But the defending champs are looking good again this year.
Yeah, mate, and I caught up with Dave, a little bit earlier on. Same thing again. There's just a lot of composure when I'm talking to him. He's really confident in the way the boys are training, the way that they're playing. So they're preparing really well. I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do again tonight live, mate.
Yeah, one of those 2 draws which we just made mention of came last week against the Country Club Colts. They've got a little bit of a rivalry going as well. Of course, Redlands beating the Colts, who were red-hot favourites last year. They were undefeated unto that point. The Country Club Colts, they got a little one back there with a 7-7 draw last week against Redlands. No Corey Russell tonight, no Nick Home as well, coming off a busted nose from a couple of weeks ago. So a couple of outs for Redlands, but still a really strong outfit for them tonight. You can just see the players that they've got to start this set hovering around the middle at the moment. Jacob Hall, Bradley Russell, James Price, and we've got young Rolf here from half as well. Redlands tappers to get us underway. And we can start strong. Intensity, vocal out there, nice and loud already, both teams. Hall, left foot, right foot, jinks and holds. Has still got one more touch to come. I like that though from the Gold Coast. Even though it's not quite the touch count, they say, give me the ball, we're ready to go. Well, they've got one more touch to defend, and they close it out nice and comfortably. Here you go, young fellas. It's your first time with the footy.
Mate, great energy to start it, mate. And yeah, I've got a new move. It's called take the ball off them on the 5th.
Just take it.
Hey.
It slowed them down. They couldn't go anywhere there, Redlands.
Oh, I love it, mate. Cade Robson really set the standard with his line speed in that last set, and then he, that really nice ruck to halfway. So looking forward to seeing these young fellas go.
Now T-Car throws it in behind Andrews. Nice first touch of the footy though for them. Good intent, good speed, really vocal even around the box and on the field there, the Gold Coast. But we've seen this as well. This is only early stages, first set of the 6 for them, but there's been so many matches where they've been in there and they've started off well, and things just haven't quite gone their way for the full 40, and that's the experience that they're going to get. And playing at this top level here at the Metro Cup, there's Price on the outside, and the touch was made. Campbell Muir will come back. Took it right through the defensive line there with Thompson.
Yeah, we saw Dylan May having to come in then to help in that link space. As I said to Scotty just before the broadcast, that's probably my concern with the Gold Coast defence, is that space between the wings and the links. And this match-up especially, given the speed of the Redlands links.
Ooh, and that one looked flat. It was more than flat, and that's code word for forward. The Redlands, the referees, I should say, they don't miss those ones. Lockie Freshwater picking that one up as Riley Watton makes his way onto the field, supported by Campbell Muir as well on our sideline at the moment. Redlands with the better of the possession early doors here as Price burrows his head in underneath. They make the touch, close out the set. As Davis goes forward on the first.
It's really good footwork from both sides, mate. Guys are getting to the side to play the ball. Normally these two teams love just getting the ball down in front, but there you go. Good battles, mate. I'm loving it.
Skinner down cleanly. Robson picks up, takes off, gets in behind Redlands and finds the support in Andrews. Great way to start this game here for the Gold Coast. They get on the board first.
Cade Robson, there you go. He said he looked really good in that first set and he's just exploded. Second touch onto the field. And off he goes out of half. Lovely. Picks up the short side and breaks through. But Geordie does some work here, pulls in tight and then takes off and just avoids the touch. So there you go. Great start there by Gold Coast.
Redlands will be looking for a response. And sometimes they get you a little shell shock when they had the better of the start, probably of the two teams down this attacking end of the field. All of a sudden they see them down early. Now Russell, nice early release. That last final pass out of the hands there of Connor Rolfe. Travels forward, but an opportunity there for Redlands. Won't be too disappointed. I would have loved the points, but saw some space. It was a lovely late pass there from Brad Russell.
Yeah, I hope Geordie doesn't come flying in like that again or as a bit of a habit. I hope that's just a bit of a read from him. He's got his timing right. Well, that's going to be trouble later on.
And nice kicking away from Russell, who has to come back out now.
Yeah.
Charlton rips nice and early out in front. Don't mind seeing that option though, sometimes just those couple of steps in that early release. As long as you got the space and your winger running those nice lines to work with.
Well, mate, early in the touch, the links and wingers, sometimes their backs are to the ball.
Yeah.
And they're just jogging backwards down the field, having a wee look, thinking, here comes the strike. So, yeah, I'm with you, mate. Good option.
Mistake from Redlands as well. As they're transitioning down their sideline. All of a sudden, the Gold Coast hitting back nicely. Tika, Harding, Charlton, all in the midfield at the moment. Here's Tika, hop, skip, jump. They're holding off him at the moment. Forces to come back to Harding. They steady the ship as Charlton plays it. Cops a little whack coming into the play. The ball throws a peach of a ball. And Lennox Tika, as casual as you like, will get it down for their second.
There we go. And Lenny sort of bent the defence a wee bit. He kicked out across the front, put in a wee switch, and then chopped the hole. This is the outcome afterwards. So has everybody looking in? Beautiful space, man. Winger going out, link going in. There we go. Goldie get a good jump, mate, but we've seen them do this earlier in the season as well.
And they give the penalty away. Just getting in under there and holding things up. You could see Campbell Muir signalling. So penalty to Redlands. Adam Russell gets it back from Hardwick, takes him on short side. It's going to be another forward pass.
Gee, mate, after at least half a dozen try-scoring scenario forward passes, you know, it's definitely something we've got to clean up.
Yeah, a little bit clunky from Redlands. And the Colts rolling down Davis. Made from half. Andrews feeds it out the back. Skinner straight and hard into the line. Robson just looking to come off the left foot. Ball just coming out of the hands. No contact there from any Redlands players. The ball hits the deck and wow, look at that. Robson really coming up to put pressure on James Price. Somehow gets it down cleanly to maintain possession here for Redlands. Russell to Rolfe. And it comes back towards Rolfe. Hits him on the scone on the way through. Down the coast. Working a little bit harder for meters in this set. Davis just shy of the halfway line as Tika tucks it under the wing this time, sets it for Charlton. He's already ripped a beautiful ball once. He does it again as May rolls over the line to get their third.
That's the one you were talking about earlier, Scotty, when you said it's okay to throw it earlier. No one's ready for it. Beautiful play. So potentially they've practiced this one because he's not doing it accidentally. There's intent there. Boom. And that's twice in a row Jai's had that shot, and this time he got it right. So the winger right in the middle of the field. He's 20 metres in field.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Beautiful play. GC, when they're excited, man, they're hard to stop, these young fellas.
What a start from them. Up by 3 against the defending champs. This can't be another forward pass thrown here from Redlands, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Goodness.
And that's just a matter of footwork, into the touch. Like, dummy half's just got to work a bit harder to get that footwork right. But, yeah, the count's definitely up after these last 2 games.
Over the halfway line. They're rolling downfield nicely as well here, the Coast. Giving themselves a pretty good opportunity. Robson, geez, they look skinny again. Great call from Freshwater, and they have linked up. Carter Skinner this time around. The Gold Coast are on fire.
Completely agree, mate, and it's just coming off the back of speed. Like, they're getting to the box really well. They're coming out hard. They're not slowing down, and he's just going for it. Yeah, I'm okay with the offside. Yep. Nice intensity. Way to read the moment. It's going to take a couple of the senior players over in that Redlands box here just to take a deep breath. Adam Pride will pull a few aside. They'll have a wee chat, and off they go.
Gee whiz, this is some swing around from the Gold Coast. It was the Storm that were doing this to them last round in the second half. And now the Gold Coast racking up points early on here in the first half against Redlands as Richards plays it. Adam Russell sends it across. Griffiths bats back into Hardwick, and they like it.
Yeah, ball was down.
Well, didn't they need that, Redlands?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's funny, you know, when you look across to a sub-box and a team's caught a couple in a while, I always look to see what the response is. And the sub-boxes have gone a little bit quiet for Redlands, and we know they're up. They're always about energy and enthusiasm, so what happens next is really important for both teams.
Just got up over the top of May. It almost looked like he was there, but whether he lost the side of the ball, just needed to stick a hand out. Charlie, like he's playing in the prelim AFL final tonight, gets over the top, slaps it back on the inside. Hardwick's there to pick up the crumbs.
Yeah, they were going to be called forward then anyway, mate. Sideline had him. So.
And it's just amazing how that little spark coming off the back of a try works for you. As Redlands up and about here again. Campbell Rolfe plays it. Drew Price picks up and goes from half. He's looking for the offside players. Throws it back to the Gold Coast. They don't want any of it. Bounces off, comes straight back into Drew's hands. He throws it back to him a second time.
And there you go, mate. The momentum's gone. Hey, just like that. And now the struggles, yep.
It's Castles. Gives it. Erickson plays it. Again, picking up from half on the back there, Clarkin. But starting to swing back a little bit in favour of Redlands now. Started their set in a pretty good position as Richards gets some pressure from Clarkin. Person play it. Adam Russell hops, skips, jumps, feeds a lovely ball in behind, and no touch made. And Redlands now back-to-back tries, and it comes off the back of 2 of their experienced players in Russell and Price.
Yeah, and that was the space I alluded to at the start of the game. So the links are just tight, and then they just get caught here. See, looking in, and then he's just lost his man for that moment. Great work, though, by Jimmy, eh? Like, James, great work to get that one down.
To get into space, get your body down falling, to pretty much just catch the ball, boom, straight down. Yeah, some finish there. Look at this straight away. Now, what's the call going to be? There's contact there on Skinner. Campbell. Yeah. Takes his time to give the penalty. Good call as well.
Here we go. So 6 touches on the line. Let's see penalty process.
Tika, Robson, left foot Robson. Probably just half a metre short of where he needed to be. He's a big, long frame. Backed himself to get into the line. Just caught a little short. Tika round the back. Nice touch on the line from the skipper, Dave Richards.
You've got to love the edge-to-edge attack, eh? You know, attack this link, get across, attack far link.
Skinner takes the touch, short ball. Not a bad little option there to Andrews. Set complete. Brad Russell shows it on the inside. They must have made contact on him as he heads back to the mark to play it. As Rolf gets him towards the halfway line. Drew Price will bring energy out of the box as he steps in, looking to set up for Jacob Hall. Lovely ball out of the hands. This time, May reads it perfectly. Comes up and makes that contact on Hardwick.
Mate, just like you want your wingers to, mate. Coming forward, especially on those plays, we can get players around the back if we need to. Dylan read that one perfectly. Mate, hasn't Drew Price had a really good last couple of minutes?
Oh, yeah. A little bit of energy.
Yeah, makes such a difference.
Now they're trying to punch through the middle here, the Gold Coast. Charlton this time sent it out the back. Couldn't link up in the end. Here is Drew. This time rips it across to Hall. Campbell Rolfe. It's on the 10-metre line. Price takes a shot there as he heads over for a breather. Person plays it on a platform. Adam Russell gets in behind them yet again. Just hoiks it over the top to Marcus Home. Well, he's done them once, coming off that left foot, heads back across. Might have been called offside a couple of players here for the Gold Coast. Look at that, Bruce Sharp. Yeah, Charlton came up and made the touch. He was a step or two short. Nice advantage played there from Ewer. Look at this. Slaps it over the top.
Yeah, Joe lost his man. He actually thought he was the right middle and he was the left middle. So he pulls towards the other side, got caught out. But that's the pace, say, that the Redlands have taken the game to at the moment. I reckon Scotty with 6.5 to go. That's not the last one of the half.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Yeah, from either team, that's for sure. About this turnaround. 4 unanswered tries from the Coast to start the game. Now we see 3 on the trot from Redlands. A little hit back here from the Coast would be very handy. Nice little pop in, but a great cover defence coming across on the inside. James Price coming from nowhere to make the touch.
Golly. It's really interesting. I've heard Coach Chopper downstairs. He's been talking about every time Redlands have thrown that pass over the top, and we haven't stopped it once. He's been going on about it for like about 10 minutes now. So he's asking for a response there for them on touch 1 and 2. But as you can see, Redlands have actually come back into the game through that.
Here's Hole. Drew Price back out there. Dancing, jinking. Comes back towards Jacob Hall, who steps left foot. Asking some questions there, Hall. He gets sent back to the 7-metre line for the last touch of the set. Comes off the left and the right. Shoves the ball back into the face. It's good, though, from the Coast. They just get the ball back, get back going underway. They didn't want to get into this nitty-gritty here with Redlands.
They learned their lesson, mate. They've got a player sitting out because of it, so they know better.
And a little ball down, though, here. As they're looking to roll downfield again, the Coast. Just need to try and swing a little momentum back their way. Still 5 to go here in the first half. Plenty of time to work with. It's an important last 5 minutes for both these two teams. Redlands looking to score next. They hit back with 4 tries of their own as Russell sends the ball out in front of Price.
Yeah, mate, that was well defended as well. Geordie had his spacings perfect coming off Carter, so it was really nice defence, hence ball going to ground.
Let's see how the Coast come out of their end. They're on their sub-box side of the field to start their set. And they've lost a little bit of punch out of the last couple of sets. This time, back in the midfield. Charlton's got the hot hand for them so far here in the first. Early release again to May. Just juggled it. Was looking to come back on that inside runner. He takes it cleanly straight away. Might have been able to sling it in. Now Redlands under pressure. Great work coming out of the line there from Kohu Tuckeright. Nice work. Gets the footy back for the Coast. Full set to work with. We've got a chance to just burn a couple of sets. Tika made his way on. After that changeover occurred, early release, and there's been no touch made, and it's that young man who got the footy back for his team. We saw it in the women's game with Beck. She earned the result for the team, scores the points off the back of it.
Well, look, he's so good. He's even got a little move named after him in that team. Hey, when they run the fake rooster, it's called the Coo. There you go. Because he's just, he's silky and he runs that play himself all the time. So, yep, nice turnover. He earned himself that try. Here we go. Redlands, though, they'll want one before half-time, mate.
It's just what the doctor ordered there from the coast. Stop that flow. Punch them back out to a 2-try advantage. Penalty here to Redlands. Still 3 to go. We've seen some footy here in the first half between these two teams. 8 tries in total. Hall gets a flat ball across to Brad Russell. Nice defence. Davis coming up from right link. And they're heading back towards his way now. Hall loves it left to right. Ball out in front. And good covering defence on Ben Thompson. As Jared feeds it from half. He'll follow suit. Link up with Brad Russell. Sends it early behind Griffiths. Tries to flick it back in field.
There's quite a few players now in the game that feature that as their sort of fifth and last process, is getting to that counties and then reading the line so they can pick their options for passing them, as Brad did just then. Same thing with Jonte.
They go away from Skinner as Ericsson brings it back in field. Takes another one forward for them. Lennox, early release. Harding goes himself. Big touch made from Brad Russell. There's a little shake of the head. Hall takes the meters on the first. Just over a minute and a half to go. Drew Price, nice release to Rolfe. There's no half in place. Forces Rolfe to come back towards Price, but they're still on the attack. Rolfe behind. Not the pass he was looking for coming into the last.
There's just so much noise, isn't there? It's awesome, mate. Both boxes now. Both teams are up. Good chat.
Now penalty. Interesting to see Lachlan Freshwater there, just signalling towards the back of the head. He must have been too happy with the contact there in the play of the ball. Or?
That's what I was thinking, mate. Yeah, maybe there was, whether it was a push off after the touch. Not sure.
Now under 60 to go. This is a big set as Richards just shows and goes. And as I was saying, this is a big set because Redlands score before the break. If Ghost want to get the footy here, they might be able to have one more last crack, but that was an important try coming into halftime.
Yeah, I don't think they know that they got 30 seconds left.
So they will have one last opportunity here, the Coast. They want to go into the break and push that margin back out to 2. Redlands are just going to hold. They won't want to bite in defence. They're probably happy to give the penalty away. It's forthcoming, but Tika Russell makes the touch. And you can just see the experience there. They will get one last crack at them. And just by holding there, took some seconds off. They still had to make the touch. You don't want to go to sleep on Lennox. They'll come back in towards the middle of the field to tap. You give it a go. Forced substitution. Good call from Campbell as well. They've got the numbers advantage. You might as well throw it around. But they come back in towards the middle. Redlands hold them out. What a first half of footy we see there. 4 tries from the Gold Coast. Redlands hit them back with 3 of their own. We end up being 5-4 coming into the halftime break.
Mate, it's amazing. And like both teams are playing their style of touch. That's what I like about it the most. We know Redlands, they're built behind energy and attitude. And the Coast, man, they like getting silky with their skills and playing some nice, fast, intense touch. So really looking forward once again to these halftime chats and seeing how both teams sort of pivot for the second half, mate.
Absolutely. The Coast have got the lead going into the halftime break. They're up by 1 at the moment. Gold Coast 5 in front of Redlands 4.
We're the Brisbane Metropolitan Touch Association, a touch football competition at Brisbane's best location. We're Australia's largest touch football operation and everyone can play, no discrimination. A legacy dating back to 1973. Who could have guessed what this club could be? Intro through to rep programs, 800 teams a year, major events, and those who just come for a beer. We're players, we're coaches, we're administrators, we're volunteers, we're referees, we're coordinators. We range from 4 to 75 years of age, and we play together on the same stage. BMTA Mustangs, we're one herd, the home of touch football. Haven't you heard? White Sill Reserve in the heart of Camp Hill, from the heat of summer through the winter chill. Beginner to advanced, we are a community. You can play too. This is your opportunity. It's the fun, the fitness, the culture, the friends. 6 nights a week, touch never ends. It's the run, the step, the pass, the try. And it all stems from our why. People, place, performance is what we're about. BMTA is touch football, day in and day out.
Gold Coast about to head back out onto the field. They're in front at the moment, 5-4 over Redlands, the defending champs at that. What a great first half it was from them. Went a little bit shaky from time to time, but I like the way they hit back towards the back end of that first half to go into the break in front.
Mate, it's just talent on display. You know, these guys, when they get to Premier Men's, they've got 10 years or more worth of work, some of them, and we're seeing their individual skill sets come in. You know, like some of them are scoopers, passers, runners, divers, but when you get to this intense level, then you start to see those skills really rise, mate. So it's been really interesting. I quite enjoyed listening to Chopper then talking about rolling defence. So he said when we roll through the field, they have a better chance of scoring us on the short side when they get to our goal line. So you sort of put that together and think about why that is and what happens to your defensive line as you start to roll. So really interesting. So advising his teammate, we need to really stop that roll so we can ensure when they get to the line that we're able to defend properly.
What did you like from Redlands throughout that first half? Obviously, the start didn't go their way, but we know they've got quality across the park. Just to composed and just work their way back into the field. You can see Jacob Hall in the middle there. He's already getting some instructions out, talking to Drew Price. Well, they've just got that class in their team just to hang with teams, and they'll scrap and fight right till the end.
That's what I like, mate. When it's time for the leaders to lead with Redlands, they do. So we saw Adam have his little wee scoop get through and then set up James Price to score the try. You know, Hawley's in there working really hard. Drew's working really hard. So the leaders stand up and set the example for the other boys to follow. And that's always been a part of their program, mate. So I really enjoyed seeing that. That's how the team came back into the second half.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the Coasts go here in the second 20. We've mentioned it a few times. They're probably sick of us mentioning it, but their second half last week against the Southern Storm, they were in pretty similar position. They went into the halftime break up by 1, and it was just floodgates from that point on. We heard a little bit of the conversation at the halftime break. None of that was mentioned. Last week wasn't mentioned at all. I'm sure it might have been in the lead-up because you could see the intent and they started this game. Big second 20 minutes needed here from the Coast.
Ooh. He goes pretty close there for a mark, but great start. Here we go. Harding looking for Lennox underneath. Got him. Oi, golly.
Yeah, not happy with the offside or onside call it was in the end. They thought Jacob might have been a step or two short. He did stick the hand out to make the touch. And Lennox wasn't too happy with the call as Rolf does a great job to get the ball away to James Price. Drew Price follows suit. Hall takes another run going forward.
Yeah, there you go. So you saw the Gold Coast defender fly up then trying to cut that ball off as they spoke about at the end of the first half. So clearly that's been a message as well.
Now Brad decides to hold it, just links back up with Rolf, and they somehow get through behind the Gold Coast defence. Great opening set there from Redlands going coast to coast. Rolf squeezes through the Coast to get there first here in the second half.
Mate, you just set the intensity, don't you? Bang. That was all done at 100 miles an hour. Then they found space, created it, and boom. But there's a little bit of luck in that moment as well.
It almost looked like they were almost conceding. Brad didn't get the look that he wanted, just somehow got it across by dragging them over. A little space opened up. there as Connor rolled over. And all of a sudden now, 5-all. Redlands score first here in the second half. Bit of space out here for the Coast. May comes back in. Oh, yeah. Might have half a little chance there. Davis looking to come back towards Dylan May.
Yeah, if he had more of a J line, he was at speed, then he scores that one.
Now Redlands down their sideline. Changes on. Drew Price kicks away. Short ball, Hall throws it in. And an early signal straight away as Andrews might not have got his hands there, but the body was all up in the space.
It's hard. If his body doesn't get in the way, then they score. You know, it goes through him and they score on the other side. So, yeah, that time. Oh, he missed.
Oh, it's a shame.
I thought
As you said it, he was there.
Yeah, he was there.
He was there. We'll take a look at the replay here. Redlands scoring 2 tries here to kickstart the second half. You can see he was on the move.
Yeah, and there's not much in it, but you'll watch when the play happened, he pulled square and straight instead of towards the ball, and that distance is not much when you miss by a centimetre.
So Redlands with 2 unanswered tries here in the second half sees them unbelievably now in front by 1, 6-5. First time in the game they've led so far. Another mistake there from the Coast. Redlands gets straight onto the footy. They're getting back to work. Nice release from Brad Russell. This person gets him going forward yet again. Hardwick, ball down. And Russell pointing the finger. They're not going to get that one shifted back. And they'll get marched downfield as well.
Yeah, there's a big contest there by Cade, and just a little bit of frustration, I think, in the end.
Charlton gets it down. He'll hover around and look to get himself back into half. Goes against the grain. Oh, little short ball. He gets behind the hands there of Hardwick. They're in for points, the Coast.
It's interesting when they get to the line, mate. Like earlier on in the first half, their tries were coming off their rucking skills, and now they're trying to get to the line and pulling the trigger on those sort of 4th and 5th plays.
He's pretty close there from Davis. Sort of started coming into the line. Getting down nice and low. Charlton splits them through. Shows it. 2 Redlands defenders there to make the touch. Person and Price. Back in towards the midfield. Harding now goes early, long. He's had a little bit too much on it.
That was still rising when he touched it. That's huge. Here we go. So big set of defence needed by the Coast, but Redlands have the momentum at the moment.
Now, a little penalty. No touch, mate. Potentially playing the ball without the contact. Involuntary play the ball. A good opportunity as Drew Price comes out of a cannon. Charlton goes away from Tika. They slide across with them. Redlands in defence. Tika this time early release, and Hall having to get the hands on the ball again. It's a couple of times there they've created little opportunities. Gold Coast. Redlands having to respond. Drew Price maybe looked like he might have been a step short of the line. Referee Riley Watton happy.
Well, look, Hawley's helping out there, so Kuhu's space is actually available outside Jacob. So there are options in space there, but they're just not seeing them.
Athletics off that right foot. Goodness gracious.
How? Wow. Just wanders back, tempo, and then just explodes. Wham. Oh, yeah, offside. There we go. Yep, front foot. Even back foot's not there, so here we go. Nice work, Len.
Gets his second try of the game. Gold Coast hit back. Locked up at 6s. As Brad looks to kick away and feeds it. And they get away from the diving defence. And might have picked up a little injury down there as well. Bit of concern being shown here from Brad Russell. Holding a nose. Don't tell me there's another broken nose in this Redlands team.
Might be shoulder. He grabbed his shoulder. He's gone down the hill. So let's see. And
It's
that-
just that kick away, wasn't it? From
Yeah.
Bradley.
oh, amazing.
Take a look.
Crank.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
shoulder.
no, he does grab it straight away.
Yep, that little supraspinatus on the top, that little wee muscle or ligament. Oh, Adam Russell!
Like a thief in the night.
Golly.
And that is not the first time he's done that in his career. Look at that. 2 tries before you know it. Redlands. Now what has happened here? He's just come up nice and early and don't want to throw that one.
He says, come on, young fella. Give us a look. Hey. You learn your lessons. Let's hope that only happens once to you, mate. In your Metro Cup time. That little one to Adam. That's a tune-up. Here we go. GC back on the attack. Cato, though. Lennox goes around the back.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah. Just forcing the ball back in.
Well, Dylan thought they were running the mitta then, where the winger slides in between that link hole. So a bit of miscommunication.
Now it goes away from the coast, little foot in the ruck. And it's at this period of the game where we've seen them just try and they lose their way a little bit, but you got 12 minutes in the game. They just got to continue to complete sets, stay in this grind, stay in the fight with Redlands. Defence is going to be key for them. And Redlands absolutely got their tails up this time. And they had a little bit of a look at it as well. Right about out there from the left. It's all advantage here for the boys in the red. And green and white tonight. And has come up nice and early. Nice work from Lennox. Wanted to shot a fraction too early though. A repeat set. Offside call. Hall scheming. Nice contact. Cops one around the melon. Slowed things down there for a second. As Charlton again looks to put some pressure on.
He got
Great
him heavy.
work from Brad to hold on to the ball. Throws it off the deck as well as Rolf gets the They're frustrating them a little bit here defensively, the Coast. They're doing a good job. Freshwater letting it go at the moment. Now Hall over the top to an unmarked Charlie Griffiths. And they will point to the spot. This onslaught continues here for Redlands.
Yeah, the way the ball flew, I felt like T may have been able to get up. You see him just drop back a little bit, holds. He's got time there. Yeah, he can go. So just had a little bit more time to get out. He's a big guy. But yeah, they've really had to work for those tries tonight. We can't be giving those ones up now.
Margin is 3 now in favour of Redlands. Alarm bells starting to ring here for the Coast. They need a try, and they're not going to get one here off this restart.
Like just defending sweepers, that's a really good highlight. That one that Adam just played there, perfect. Perfect for those middle defenders especially.
Oh,
Oi.
bit of contact off the ball. And just an incidental bit of contact, but again, you can see 2 players reeling out of the touch. Gold Coast not happy with the previous one. They go, we're happy to give the penalty away this time around. Drew Price gets it down. Rolf just having to take an extra couple of steps to get across the half. And they're not moving forward here, the Gold Coast. Again, with just under 10 minutes to go, just keep playing that tempo.
It's got to get up and make the touch, create some shape. There it is. It's a bit of a negative way to defend when you're trying to suck them into the goal line coming off yards, you know. You really want to keep them out.
Rolf playing it just outside the 7. Price denting into the line. Good defence in the middle. Clarkin and Skinner.
It's better. It's better shape. Hawley left to right.
Hits there. He was in there to make the contact if the touch was made. They need some energy now, the Coast. They bring it out. Kaya gets it down. Clarkin on their 10-metre line. As Andrews works him towards the halfway. Lennox picks up. And Hall just comes up, makes the touch. Jacob plays it, takes the shot. As he rolls his way over to the interchange box. Now Bradley back in field. Rolf, early release. Richards swings it across. Griffiths was sharp off the hands.
Touch.
Lennox came across to make the touch. They'll say the bat back on the inside was forward. Really slick though from Charlie.
I was about to say, Charlie in that moment was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, really good. Slick as.
Had a little bit of time before the ball came, but set himself on the way. As soon as he hit his hands, he just got it out nice and quickly.
Bit of volleyball setting about him, I reckon. Just quietly.
Very nice, very nice. But it was good defence as well. Lennox coming across. Robson goes to Davis. They're getting frustrated, Gold Coast, with Redlands potentially being a little bit short. Referees are happy with it at the moment.
Yeah, Cade tucked the ball then to accelerate away and then just had to bring it back out. So those extra couple of steps. But it's a good battle. It's back to that style that was working really well for them at the start, which is just using their intensity, getting in hard, getting out hard, using their effort, and using footwork to win those rucks.
Person steadies. Redlands out of the box. Adam Russell. Intercept try. Couple of try assists tonight. As Price comes across. We're going to get a try assist on that one.
Crowd getting excited. They're loving it. Loving this battle of the M1 between Gold Coast and Redlands.
There's a long history between these clubs, isn't it?
Oh, mate, there's a Sharks NTL trial coming up. These two teams will be in it. There we go. This might as well be it.
Isn't it fancy when they come together as the Sharks team? It just seems to work in the end, and it's a great synergy. Different styles, but when they can get it all working together, there's not too many better teams than the Sharks, particularly at the men's premier level. But as soon as they go back to their respective corners, one's got a green jersey on, the other one, Gold Coast, with the black jersey on. They haven't got the traditional blue and gold. Yep, it's they're no longer friends, that's for sure. They'll compete to the very end, these two proud touch football clubs here.
Absolutely, but I'm liking this. The speed of play now. They're back into it. Letting the players figure it out. Oh, caught behind the ball.
They're trying to fight their way out of it now, the Coast. Lennox plays it out the back. Nice read from Griffiths. Holds his space. He'll go over for a breather. Redlands just take an extra couple of seconds off the clock. Get himself restarted. Just over 5 to go now. As Drew feeds it out to Big Brother. Rolf. Back to Brad Russell. Sends it out to Marcus Holmes. Space to work with. Why not? Rolf back through the middle now. It's Hall.
Oi, Len.
He had a good look.
He had a jump. Hawley's smiling too. He knew what was up.
Repeat set.
Yeah, man. I think Coach Dave Marbury really happy with the turnaround from the Redlands boys.
As Brad rips it back in field. Rolf, this time Dylan May.
Gas.
Nice work. Floats down the sideline. Has a look back on the inside. He's going to wisely decide to take the touch. And that has to be a penalty. Brad.
Yeah, what's he up to? Hey.
Giving him a little hug. A little bit of a cuddle. Gets the forced substitution. Nice work from Dylan May. Juggled it off the fingertips, and as soon as he got it into the hands, he had the sideline he had to contend with as well. And this gives the Coast a good opportunity. Castles has a look left, decides to hold it. A try here for the Coast. You never know. They need something to get him into this game. Charlton sends it. A little one-on-one. May holds it. Oh, great hands from Kai to hold on to it. Last touch does give them that opportunity. He got away from the first defender. Rolf had to come back out to make the touch.
Golly, lucky Rolf's tall, eh? Get down then to get Kaya. But yeah, what do they got? 4 minutes, mate. Golly, 3 tries, 4 minutes. You got to be pretty good to peel that back on Redlands.
I'll just tuck the ball under the wing here. Set completions. I don't want to give cheap possession back to Gold Coast. They've done a pretty good job here to start this set. Rolf receives it early from Price. They get away from the first defender coming in. Still throwing the footy around as Hardwick somehow gets away from that Gold Coast defence. Redlands just can't go to sleep on him. Throwing the footy around.
Once this pass goes, you see Casey stands for a second. And it's just enough. Yep, good effort, but hey, Redlands, man. What a wonderful comeback.
Ash Hardwick gets his second try of the game. And the 10th for Redlands. Down by 4 tries in the first half. And Skinner. Lennox. Oh, they found him again, and there's Gold Coast players slipping and sliding. They're looking to come back, Clarkin. Thompson just finds that second gear when he needed it. And they run away. 2 intercept tries here in the second half, this time to Thompson.
Yes, it's hard work, especially with the attack working so hard, obviously trying to claw 1 try back at a time, but Lennox digs really deep into the line. That's it, so... Yep, didn't leave Jared too much. All they do is lift off the line, ball thrown straight to him. Hard luck though, can't deny the effort from the Gold Coast boys. But yeah, Redlands been nice and crisp, man. The last 30 minutes has been pretty much theirs.
There's Kai Davis within the 7, kicks away. Redlands holding defence, force them back out beyond the 7-metre line. Ball rolling around in there. Campbell Muir, he doesn't miss those ones.
Yeah, picked it up beautifully.
A minute and a half to go here in this one. There's now Price dancing away.
3 people diving. Hey.
So coming up next week, we're into round 8. Like we mentioned, starting to get towards the pointy end of the competition now. We'll kickstart with men's Premier action from 7:20 on your screens. Country Club Colts taking on the UQ Rebels as we see the ball hit the deck there behind James Price. That'll be followed in the Women's Premier with the Southern Storm taking on the Country Club Colts, who we saw a little earlier tonight. They'll be looking for a bit more of a hit back. They went down 6-1 against the UQ Rebels in the Women's Premier match earlier on tonight. And that'll be a good game as well in the men's to kickstart us next week with the Colts taking on the Rebels. Colts looking good. Rebels looking good as well. Like we mentioned, they had that draw with Redlands last week, so 2 teams coming in to round 8 in good form. Skinner looks to get on the outside. There's Adam Russell. Not even been able to hear him from here. Making that call to stay. He's going to make that touch. They get a little repeat set as well with 25 seconds to go. They'll get a couple of touches here, the Coast. Looking to get one last one. Charlton, who's so good for them in the first half. Lennox, who's been great as well throughout the whole game. And a good call from the sideline coming in. And look pretty good from here. And the boys will start shaking hands as the Gold Coast through Lennox Tika get one last try at the death.
Look at this, full sideways movement, like diving in a baseball play, doesn't it? Swings around it, really nice try by Len, but yeah, they still go down by 4. So once again, it's the defensive end that GC need to work on. We know they've got attack for days. Their attack's beautiful, but just consistency with the shape that they're putting up, I think, if they're going to be a chance in this Metro Cup season. Yeah,
final score, 11 tries to 7 as Redlands roll on in their title defence here in 2025. We take a look at the try scorers for tonight. Look at that list from Redlands. Hardwick highlighting that, getting 2 and a real team effort. Look at all the other individual try scorers there. Pretty much almost the whole lineup crossing over to get some points tonight. Tika getting a hat-trick with that one right at the death as well. 11-7 the final score. Big thank you, Tristan Mana, joining me in commentary box tonight, and we'll catch you next week. Metro Cup round 8 action. We'll catch you then.
We're the Brisbane Metropolitan Touch Association, a touch football competition at Brisbane's best location. We're Australia's largest touch football operation and everyone can play, no discrimination. A legacy dating back to 1973. Who could have guessed what this club could be? Intro through to rep programs, 800 teams a year, major events, and those who just come for a beer. We're players, we're coaches, we're administrators, we're volunteers, we're referees, we're coordinators. We range from 4 to 75 years of age, and we play together on the same stage. BMTA Mustangs, we're one herd, the home of touch football. Haven't you heard? White Sill Reserve in the heart of Camp Hill, from the heat of summer through the winter chill. Beginner to advanced, we are a community. You can play too. This is your opportunity. It's the fun, the fitness, the culture, the friends. 6 nights a week, touch never ends. It's the run, the step, the pass, the try. And it all stems from our why. People, place, performance is what we're about. BMTA is touch football, day in and day out.